Science and religion are often viewed as opposite poles. In this framework, miracles are typically treated as folklore or fairy tales, existing only until they are debunked by modern research. The Vatican takes a different approach. It functions as a rigorous investigator of supernatural claims, treating reported miracles as forensic case files that must be audited before they are accepted. This process is overseen by an official historically known as the devil's advocate. Their specific mandate is to find a scientific explanation for the event, searching for evidence of medical fraud or environmental factors or psychological hysteria. This funnel illustrates the scale of the Vatican's intake. Every year, thousands of reports of alleged miracles are submitted to Rome from across the globe. The auditing process is remarkably strict. Less than 1% survive the initial medical and scientific scrutiny. To maintain clinical standards, the Vatican relies on permanent medical panels. These are composed of secular doctors and experts in physics, many of whom are atheists, tasked with reviewing biological samples and hospital records. An officially recognized miracle represents a medical and legal verdict reached when every known variable of natural science fails to explain a physical outcome. The Sanctuary of Our Lady of Lourdes in France serves as the primary hub for these investigations. It is one of the most monitored religious sites in the world. Lourdes maintains its own permanent medical bureau. Doctors of all faiths and no faith evaluate claims to ensure they meet purely secular standards of evidence. In 1875, the bureau examined Peter de Ruyter. His leg bone had been shattered for 8 years, resulting in a 3-inch gap of missing bone and chronic infection. Medical records show that after visiting the shrine, the missing inches of bone fused and regenerated in seconds. Other investigations focus on the suspension of cellular decay. In several European church vaults, the bodies of incorruptibles have reportedly resisted decomposition for centuries. Saint Bernadette is the most documented example. She was buried in a damp, unsealed grave for decades following her death. When she was exhumed in 1909, physicians found her internal organs supple and her liver soft. This preservation occurred without the use of any modern embalming techniques. These medical audits document specific instances where the typical patterns of human decay and cellular regeneration appear to have been bypassed. While historical records are useful, the Church also holds permanent physical artifacts that can be subjected to modern laboratory testing today. In 8th century Lanciano, Italy, a piece of bread allegedly transformed into human flesh. The material was preserved in a simple case without chemical additives for over 1,000 years. In 1971, the Vatican authorized Dr. Odoardo Linoli to conduct a microscopic analysis of the samples using modern equipment. This diagram shows the cellular transition found by the lab. The artifact consists of human cardiac tissue, specifically the myocardium, and carries type AB blood. In Mexico City, the 1531 tilma of Guadalupe presents a different type of material anomaly. NASA researchers using infrared technology analyzed the image on the cloth. Their scans showed no evidence of brushstrokes, sketching, or paint layers. The fabric itself is made of cactus fiber, a material that usually rots within 20 years. This specific cloak has remained intact for 5 centuries, even surviving a 1921 bomb blast. These anomalies occasionally occur on a mass scale, such as the 1917 event in Fatima. After a torrential downpour, the wet, muddy clothes of 70,000 witnesses reportedly dried in an instant through a burst of heatless energy. When physical artifacts and mass observations consistently fail to be explained by laboratory testing, skepticism reaches the limits of its current models. The Vatican sets the threshold for a miracle at the point where science can no longer provide a naturalistic explanation for the evidence. As our scientific knowledge increases, these anomalies often become more distinct rather than less. Modern sequencing and imaging tools have only served to highlight how far these events sit outside the expected data curve. This data drove the conversion of Dr. Alexis Carrel, a Nobel Prize-winning medical scientist and a former atheist. At Lourdes, Carrel witnessed a woman's terminal peritonitis vanish in minutes. As a scientist, he could find no biological reason for her sudden recovery, leading him to reevaluate his rejection of the supernatural. Scientific skepticism requires a willingness to follow the physical evidence to its logical conclusion, even when that conclusion is unexpected.
These audited physical anomalies stand as documented exceptions to the material world as we currently understand it, suggesting that our current models of reality remain incomplete.